Imagine being born into poverty on a small volcanic island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Imagine sharing a single room with your parents and 3 older siblings. Imagine being so poor that you had to wash your own football kit in the sink every night because you only owned one. Imagine being bullied at school for your accent, mocked for being too skinny, and told by teachers that you were a dreamer with no future. Now imagine that same boy at 12 years old, leaving his entire family behind to move to the mainland, alone, terrified, and determined. Imagine him being diagnosed with a racing heart that could have ended his career before it began. Imagine him undergoing surgery, never telling his teammates, and returning to training the next week stronger than ever. This is not a story about a saint. Cristiano Ronaldo is arrogant, obsessive, and sometimes infuriatingly selfish. But this is also a story about a very specific kind of hope. The hope that talent without hard work is nothing. That desire can overcome poverty. That a boy from a tiny island can grow up to become the most followed human being on the planet, and still be the first in the gym and the last to leave. Welcome to our channel. Today we are telling the story of Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro. And by the end, you will understand that hope is not about waiting for a miracle. It is about becoming the miracle yourself. Visual, black and white footage of Funchal, Madeira. A tiny house with a red roof. A boy kicking a ball against a wall. Cristiano Ronaldo was born on February 5, 1985, in Funchal, the capital of Madeira, a small Portuguese island 600 miles off the coast of Africa. His parents, José Dinis Aveiro, a municipal gardener and part-time kit man, and Maria Dolores dos Santos Aveiro, a cook, were desperately poor. The family home had no proper floors, just concrete. The washing machine was broken for years. Cristiano shared a room with his 3 older siblings, Hugo, Elma, and Liliana Katia. He was the youngest by far. He slept on a cot in the hallway. His father drank heavily. His mother worked double shifts. But there was one thing that brought the family joy: football. Cristiano kicked a ball from the moment he could walk. He would dribble through the narrow streets of Funchal, dodging laundry lines and stray dogs. He had no proper boots. He had no proper pitch. But he had hunger. At age 8, he joined a local amateur club, CF Andorinha, where his father worked as the kit man. He was so skinny that older boys laughed at him. He cried. But the next day he came back. He kept coming back. One of his first coaches later said, "He was not the most talented boy I had ever seen, but he was the most determined. He would stay on the pitch until it was completely dark. I had to drag him off." At age 11, Cristiano was spotted by scouts from Sporting CP, one of Portugal's biggest clubs. They invited him to trial. He was so skinny and unpolished that they almost sent him home. But his pace and his left foot were extraordinary. They offered him a place at the Sporting Academy in Lisbon. Here is the heartbreak. Lisbon is 600 miles from Madeira. There were no budget airlines. Cristiano would not see his family for months at a time. He was 11 years old, living in a dormitory with other boys, many of whom bullied him for his thick Madeiran accent. He later admitted, "I cried every night for the first 3 months. I wanted to go home. I called my mother and begged her to come get me. She said, 'Cristiano, you fight. You never give up.'" He stopped calling. He stopped crying. He started training. Extra hours. Extra drills. He would sneak into the gym after lights out. He would practice free kicks until his feet bled. He grew taller. He grew stronger. The boys stopped laughing. By age 15, he was one of the most promising young players in the Sporting Academy. Then, during a routine medical, the doctors found something terrifying. The diagnosis: tachycardia. Cristiano's heart would race uncontrollably during physical exertion. It was a condition that could have ended his career, or worse, caused a cardiac arrest on the pitch. He needed surgery, a laser ablation to cauterize the faulty tissue. The surgery was routine, but for a 15-year-old boy whose entire identity was football, it felt like death. He later said, "I was terrified. I thought, what if I wake up and I can never play again? What if I am just normal?" He had the surgery on a Wednesday. He was back in training on Friday. His mother begged him to rest. He ignored her. He never told his teammates. He didn't want their pity. From that day forward, Cristiano Ronaldo played with a ferocity that bordered on madness. He knew at a cellular level that every match might be his last. At 16, Cristiano made his first team debut for Sporting's B team. At 17, he was promoted to the senior squad. At 18, he scored 2 goals in a single match against Moreirense. The Portuguese press called him the next big thing. In August 2003, Sporting played a friendly against Manchester United, the biggest club in England. The game was to inaugurate Sporting's new stadium. United's manager Sir Alex Ferguson was in the stands. Cristiano destroyed United's defenders. He ran at them, around them, through them. He was unstoppable. At halftime, Ferguson turned to his assistant and said, "Get that boy. I don't care what it costs." The Manchester United players begged Ferguson to sign him. Rio Ferdinand later said, "We were all in the dressing room looking at each other thinking, who is this kid? He was unplayable." United paid £12.24 million for an 18-year-old who had played only 30 professional games. Cristiano was handed the number 7 shirt, the same shirt worn by George Best, Eric Cantona and David Beckham. The pressure was immense. He struggled early. Fans called him a show pony. He did too many stepovers. He passed too late. He fell too easily. He cried after bad games. But he never stopped working. Every day after training, he stayed for extra shooting practice. He built a gym in his house. He hired a nutritionist. He stopped drinking soda. He stopped eating sugar. He started sleeping 8 hours a night. He was building a machine. In 2004, at age 19, Cristiano played in the European Championship final for Portugal. They lost to Greece. He cried so hard that he could not walk off the pitch. Teammates had to carry him. That night, he made a promise to himself, "I will never lose a final again. I will be the best in the world." Between 2004 and 2008, Cristiano transformed his body and his game. He went from 75 kilograms of skinny trickery to 85 kilograms of pure muscle. He added headers to his arsenal. He became a free kick specialist. He learned to use his left foot almost as well as his right. In 2008, he scored 42 goals for Manchester United. He won the Champions League. He won the FIFA Club World Cup. He won the Premier League. He won the Ballon d'Or as the best player on the planet. He was 23 years old. He had done what he promised. But he was not satisfied. In 2009, Cristiano moved to Real Madrid for a world record transfer fee of €94 million. He was booed at his own unveiling. The pressure was crushing. But he thrived. Over the next 9 years, he scored an astonishing 450 goals in 438 games. He won 4 Champions League titles with Madrid. He scored a bicycle kick against Juventus that made the home fans stand and applaud. He became the all-time leading scorer in Champions League history. But he was now in a 2-horse race with Lionel Messi, the Argentine genius of Barcelona. For a decade, the two men pushed each other to supernatural heights. They won 11 Ballons d'Or between them. They redefined what was possible in football. Cristiano was often portrayed as the villain, the vain, pampered superstar who spent hours in front of mirrors. He leaned into the image. He said, "I am not a hypocrite. I think I am the best. If you don't believe in yourself, who will?" In 2016, Cristiano finally won a major trophy for Portugal, the European Championship. He was carried off the pitch in tears after an early injury. He cheered his teammates from the sidelines. He proved finally that he was not just a selfish superstar. He was a leader. In 2021, he returned to Manchester United for a second spell. It did not go well. The team was broken. He was older, slower. He clashed with coaches. He gave a controversial interview in which he said he felt betrayed. The club tore up his contract. At the 2022 World Cup, Portugal was eliminated in the quarterfinals. Cristiano walked off the pitch alone, covering his face. He was 37 years old. Many said he was finished. Then he moved to Saudi Arabia. The world laughed. They said he went for money. They said he was a has-been. He scored 35 goals in his first season. He broke the record for most goals in a calendar year. He kept scoring. He keeps scoring. Cristiano Ronaldo is now 40 years old as of 2025. He has played over 1,200 professional games. He has scored over 900 goals. He has 5 Ballons d'Or. He is the most followed human on Instagram, over 600 million. He has a hotel chain, a clothing line, a museum in his hometown, and a fortune measured in the billions. And he is still training. Still waking up early. Still doing 3,000 sit-ups a day by his own account. Still obsessing over his diet. Still screaming "see" after every goal. He once said, "I am not chasing anyone. I am not comparing myself to anyone. I am chasing my own limits. And I have not found them yet." You are watching this video in a world that tells you to be humble, to not stand out, to not believe your own hype. Cristiano Ronaldo has never listened to that voice. He has believed in himself so ferociously that he made that belief a reality. He was poor. He was skinny. He was bullied. His heart nearly failed. He left his family at 11. He lost finals. He was booed. He was called finished more times than any athlete in history. And he kept coming. He kept scoring. He kept crying. He kept winning. The hope in his story is not about talent. There are thousands of talented boys on islands. The hope is about work. The kind of work that starts when everyone else goes home. The kind of work that rebuilds your body, your mind, your heart. He said, "Talent without work is nothing. Work without talent is still something. But work with talent, that is unstoppable." If you feel like you are from nowhere, people have laughed at your dreams, if you have been told you are not good enough, if your body has failed you, if you are crying on the pitch right now, remember the boy from Madeira. Remember the washing machine that never worked. Remember the heart surgery. Remember every single "C." A sound not of arrogance but of survival. Cristiano Ronaldo's story has ever made you believe that hard work can overcome anything, hit that like button for every underdog who refused to be ordinary. Subscribe for more stories of impossible dedication. And in the comments below, what is one goal, literal or metaphorical, that you are still chasing? Thank you for watching. C. Fade to black. The sound of a ball hitting a net. Silence. Then a soft C. I am not a perfectionist, but I like to feel that things are done well. More than that, I like to feel that I have done my best. Cristiano Ronaldo.